Hey guys, PhoenixKingMatt here with a Halo 5 review. The clip that you're seeing here, it's not actually in the game, and it's really disappointing because it looks really good. When I went out and brought Halo 5, I thought that this was the game that I'm getting, and I wish it was because it looks really cool. I mean, anybody who watches this clip or the next one would think that they were getting a really cool game. Unfortunately, none of this actually happens in the story of Halo 5. There's never really any conflict between Locke and Chief. You'd think that Chief's at an end here, but he's not. It just doesn't happen at the end. It just looks like they're buddies at the end of it, and it's really disappointing that Hunt the Truth. It's not really hunting the truth, really. And as for this clip, it shows Chief walking through the snow in a cloak. It looks really awesome, but it doesn't happen. And it's really, again, disappointing because it had the potential to be a great game. After you watch these clips and everything, you think the game's so much better than what it is, and it's yeah, like the only legitimate thing about this clip is the Guardian that comes up out of the snow, because there's actual Guardians in the game itself. But look at Chief, I mean, he looks so awesome there, and they didn't even think to put that in the game. It was just like false advertising at its best. It's pretty much disgusting, like how they advertised it, because I don't know, if I had known this wasn't going to be in the game, like, before buying it, well, I probably still would have brought it, but I wouldn't have thought that so much better stuff was going to happen. It's just stupid. Like, the Guardian coming up out of the snow, I mean, the whole scene looks good, but it's just not in the game, and it's like they're just laughing in our faces, like, hey, look, we just fucked you guys over. Like, that's pretty much what this clip's saying, and yeah, they don't give a shit about gaming anymore. They don't get a franchise. They're just in it for money, obviously. If they're going to make a clip like this and not put it in the game, obviously they just want to take your money and give you crap in return. Lots of potential, but 343, as I've come to know, they're good at one thing, and that's failing. Moving on to the actual campaign, it doesn't feel like a Halo game when you play it. I mean, for some people who played Halo 4, which I did, I've played Halo 1 to 5. When I was playing Halo 4, I also didn't feel like I was playing Halo. But in this particular game, it feels nothing like Halo. I mean, nothing relates to any of the rings. Nothing relates to anything to do with Halo. It's just chasing Chief around with Locke, if you can call it that. It's pretty much a game of cat and mouse, but a real pathetic one. You only get to play as Chief 3 times during the whole entire campaign, which is pretty crappy considering it's meant to be a Halo game. Whether they want Locke to be the new Chief, I don't know what they're doing there. But I would have liked to have seen more of Chief throughout the story. I mean, it has Covenant, it has Prometheans, it has the Guardians, but whatever happened to the Flood? I mean, as soon as 343 took over, they killed off the Flood and added Prometheans, and I know it's to a different part of the Halo story, but there was no real need to cut them out completely. I mean, in Halo 1, 2, and 3, you couldn't go anywhere without the Flood showing up. So why from Halo 4 and 5, there's no Flood showing up? There's they just give up? They don't want to be in the game anymore? And if you're wanting to play with a family member or anything on the same console, think again, because there is no split screen for the co-op. I mean, why the hell would you take out split screen of Halo? Why would that be taken out? Some douchebag just thought it was a good idea to take out a split screen and hope that people would buy more consoles, or maybe even the Halo 5 console, which I did get. But yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like, why did they have to use all the false advertising? When you're running through the game, like when you're actually playing it, you'll notice that you come across the same boss over and over and over and over and over again. It never ends. Cortana shows up, says a couple of things every now and then, um, which kind of doesn't make sense to me because Cortana's like always been the good guy, and they want to depict her as the bad guy just to bring her back because they made the mistake of killing her in Halo 4, or tried to anyway. But I think they did that because they wanted to kill Cortana off, and then once they realized that they killed her off, they had to bring her back, but they didn't want her to be a good guy or something. I don't know what they were thinking there, but would have just been good if like Cortana came back as like an ally again. You know, you get Cortana back. I mean, who doesn't love playing with Cortana? And when you're playing the game, I mean, you have your team. Locke and Chief have like obviously different people. Um, Sometimes if you're laying there on the ground dead and they're standing next to you, they won't come and help you out. Like they're meant to, but they don't come and help you, and that's real crappy. I mean, sometimes they do. It's good when they do, but they sometimes, like especially on the harder difficulties, they just stand there and just call out bloody ridiculous stuff that doesn't even have anything to do with it. They just stand there. Buck's like, oh, they're shooting me, and you're down, and instead of Buck coming to help you, I mean, he's just standing there doing nothing. So that's a bit disappointing as well, but it is cool that they added it in, and what I think is that Halo 1 was meant to be before Reach, and Master Chief was meant to be the last Spartan, like, that they had left, like, there was no other Spartans. But for some reason, in Halo 5, all his childhood Spartan friends come back. Now, I haven't looked into the lore of this, or if there even is, but it just doesn't make sense to me why this would be set after Halo 4, and it just doesn't make sense how they could bring back his childhood friends. I mean, after Halo 1, they had the big thing that he was the last Spartan. It was Halo, the last Spartan. I still have the original copy of it. And, yeah, it just sucks. I'm like, what the hell are they doing here? But the game itself, it plays out okay. If you can find, like, a friend that has a couple of consoles. If you want to play with a friend. But yeah, the gameplay, the story, I mean, there's lots of Easter eggs. There's plenty of stuff to actually do in the campaign. I mean, you can stuff around in a Warthog. You can just play through, but the difficulties are ridiculous as well. I mean, there's only hard and easy really, and the hard ain't even really that hard, especially if you're doing it on co-op. I don't get why it doesn't have that legendary status that the other Halos had, where it actually was a challenge to complete the game. It wasn't really a challenge to complete this game, or I just got bored playing it on co-op, and I got bored with the story altogether because it just didn't tie in with what I seen it advertised as, and it just ruined it for me. So after I played through it, it was kind of difficult for me to play through it again. But that's what they gave us. That's what we've got. And if you want to find those Easter eggs, there's plenty of videos up of people showing how to do them and stuff. There's a cool grunt one. There's actually quite a few grunt ones, and there's a couple there that give you some weapons. There's one there that will give you a Banshee, and that helps on the harder difficulties. There's plenty to do, and well, I don't mind it. It's just disappointing that I didn't get what was advertised. And the ending's an outright joke. I mean, you can't call that an ending. I mean, they do this with other games. Like, I just can't believe the ending that they put on this game. It's so pathetic. It just makes me never want to play the campaign for Halo 5 ever again. Rec packs for Warzone. I mean, this is. I mean, some people like it. I don't mind it if they had a better system, but it's disgraceful. It's Destiny all over again. You have to fucking get random crap instead of unlocking it. What happened to the good old days where you could unlock a piece of armor or earn the credits to buy it instead of this random crap? You pay for gold packs, which are ridiculously priced, and it's all for the microtransactions so they can make $1 million off that. They make millions off it already. I mean, it's just stupid. I mean, people actually buy this stuff, and there's no problem with that. If people want to buy that stuff, that's up to them. But I don't want to buy it. I want to play the game and unlock stuff. And the rec packs are only good for Warzone. Warzone ain't too bad to play, but they say that there's no advantage to people who buy these rec packs. Well, that's an outright joke and a lie. Because if you've got somebody that's buying a whole bunch of these rec packs with microtransactions, they've obviously got all the better stuff in the game before anybody who's trying to unlock it, like with their credits that they earn or their rec points. And I've seen people, like when this game came out, people brought a whole bunch of rec packs, and yeah, it's just so stupid. And I don't know why it won't give me a DMR. You get the SMG, you get the battle rifle, you get the assault rifle right at the start. Why couldn't they have put the DMR in as an unlock with like a level or something? Because it just won't give it to me. I'm opening silver packs because I'm just going for the cheapest way. I mean, I can spend on gold packs, but that's double my money and lesser chance of getting a DMR. I mean, it's not too much to ask to get a DMR, and I definitely don't want to pay a whole bunch of extra money than what I've already paid for the game just to get a DMR to play with in Warzone. It's like they just want to make money. The franchise is just screwed. They don't care about Halo no more. I mean, why would they put this system in here? Like I said, some people like it, some people don't like it. I'm one of the people that halfway. I mean, I don't mind it, but I do mind it because I'm not getting a DMR, and that's the gun that I want to play with. I mean, it should be option in a game what you want to play with. If you want to play for DMR, you should be able to go get a DMR and play with it. I mean, we've paid enough for the fucking thing, right? Warzone itself, I mean, it's really good to play. It works well with the rec points that you get to pull out tanks, weapons. You can get ghosts, and there's all sorts of different classes. I mean, there's a lot of variety of stuff. You can get banshees, wraiths. Like you can pull out pretty much whatever you want. It's a bit disappointing that it's meant to replace the firefight kind of aspect of it, but it is. It does work. It's pretty cool. I mean, I really like to play it. There's only 3 maps. I think there's meant to be another one released today. I couldn't find it, but I'm sure it's there. I guess I'll have to look for a few more hours before I actually get that map. But also, the maps sometimes repeat themselves over and over again. The map I'm playing on now, I've played on this map sometimes 5 times in a row, and that is repetitive as all hell. The bosses are always the same, and on all the maps, like the end boss, as you all know, he's always the same thing. So after you play like quite a few games, like I tend to get bored like of playing it just because it's so repetitive, and I hope that not many games end up like this one in Destiny where they figured out that, oh, we can just make repetitive games and people will buy them and they'll just have to put up with it. Because I've been gaming a long time and I haven't never seen until Xbox One came all these games getting dodgy, And I mean, they're getting real dodgy, and they're getting dodgier as they go. I mean, they look good, they play good, but you're getting lesser and lesser content, and most people don't realize that. And but you don't have to pay for any DLC, as far as I know, with Halo 5. I mean, if they release anything, any new maps or anything like that, that's all free. So I'll give them that. That's pretty good of them. But they are making enough money through the microtransactions to be able to pull that off. So I guess that's not too bad. I mean, I try and find games in BTB. I can never really find a game, and it's not because of my connection. I don't know what's going on there, whether it's not enough people playing it or it's the time of day. But I never really get to play BTB that much. But I've gotten a few games in it, and it's not really that impressive. I expected a lot more from BTB because I love BTB, and with the amount of like XP and stuff that you get for playing it, I mean, if a game goes until the timer runs out, that's 15 minutes. You only get so much XP, and you only get a tiny bit too because it's an arena game and it doesn't belong in arena. I thought they would have worked that out, but they haven't. And as far as I could tell, like, yeah, it just didn't feel like a BTB game. It doesn't play like a BTB game. I mean, maybe it could with some upgrades or some more playlists for BTB. I'm hoping they bring for BTB like a capture the flag, like some of the old game types back, just to make it feel more Halo-ish and just make it a bit more fun. Because in the BTB, you're capturing zones like you are in Warzone, and everything else. It's like they made the one game playlist and like they just stuck with it for everything. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of the game. I'd appreciate feedback considering it's my first YouTube video. Plan to do a lot more. I would appreciate it if you like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing a few more reviews and some more gameplays of other games. And yeah, just leave some comments. Let me know what you guys think.